Okay, we are here to get a start on this project. My workstation's a little bit messier than normal, which is really saying something because I'm not exactly the most organized person on the planet. But there is a lot more preparation, a lot more tools than normal that you need for soap cupcakes, it seems like. And because this is my first time doing it, I'm moving a little bit slower than normal. There's just a lot more work, a lot more preparation necessary so far. Like I said in the intro, I have never done this before, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to give it a shot. Every time I have seen these done by anybody else, I always thought they were so cute and I just couldn't stand it. I had to try it out for myself, give it a go. I've got some of these little silicone cupcake liners. I actually bought these off of Amazon. I know you can find these just about anywhere anymore. I've never seen them at Walmart, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were there. I know you used to be able to get these at Bed Bath & Beyond. I think I've seen them at Target. But yeah, just little silicone cupcake liners. I've only got 8 of these. Most people, when they do soap cupcakes, they do 12 or more. But since this is my first time doing it, I didn't want to make that big of a batch. I know 8 is still probably a lot, but again, I don't know how it's going to go. This could completely fail. I'll just have to see. So, let me go ahead and get my oils mixed up. Okay, this is where I'm going to stop with my trace. It's pretty thin. I would say it's only really just barely emulsified. But that's because I'm going to try to keep it as fluid as I can even after adding my colorants. Because I'm going to be pouring into these little cupcake molds. And I want to be able to pour slow without getting any big plops or anything like that. Because they are cupcake liners and they're just by themselves, so I don't want them to collapse or anything like that while I'm doing this. We'll see how that goes. The fragrance that I'm using today is actually this fragrance right here. It's White Tea and Ginger by Nature's Garden, and it smells so good. I'm really liking this fragrance. I've never used it before. I thought that because sometimes these soap cupcakes come out looking so realistic, so close to actual cupcakes, that it would be a good idea to use something as far as a fragrance that definitely smells like not food. Especially if I'm going to have these at my show, or at the show that I'm going to be vending at in December. I haven't decided if I'm going to have them there or not. I guess it'll depend on how this goes. I'm going to be using a little bit of a different color scheme than what I've ever attempted to do before. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a mermaid sort of color scheme. So I've got some of this mermaid blue mica from Brambleberry, and it's very nice. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's this really nice teal turquoise blue, and it has like a green shift to it. It's very pretty. I've also got my purple Vibrance mica from Nurture Soap, and this is that super duper purple that I used in the lavender soap. I've used this in several soaps, and it's so pretty. I love this mica right here. I've also got 2 new ones that I'm excited to try out. This is the Summer Crush mica, and it's a very nice pink, almost a rose gold. It's got a really nice gold shimmer to it. That's really what I bought it for, was because it looks like rose gold, and I'm just obsessed with rose gold. And I've also got this new green. This is New Leaf Mica. It is very different from Green Vibrance, which I used in my Carol the Belle soap. I've also used this in several soaps, but you can see here how different they are. This one is very, very, very green, and then this one looks, well, like new leaves, I guess. But it's a very nice, bright green. I thought that would look kind of cool in the mermaid theme, I guess. So I'm going to make my base, the base of the cupcakes, this color, at least what I'm thinking. And then these three will go in the frosting. Then I've also got a couple of glitters. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to go with. I don't know. I may end up using them all, but let me grab these. So I've got this Bali Bliss glitter. It's a nice purple glitter. Clover Patch glitter, which is very green, so I don't think I'll end up using this one. But I thought I would pull it out just in case I decided to go with it. And this is the Eclipse glitter from Nurture. And then this one, I cannot remember the name of it, but it's a nice, very pretty holographic glitter. I thought that would go really neat on top. So I'm not sure what glitter I'll end up going with or if I'll use multiple, but let's get on into the rest of this. So what I need to do first is actually pour out the amount that I need to fill up my cupcake liners here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera so that you all don't have to watch that boring stuff. All right, I've got out what I need to fill up these cupcake liners. So I'm going to go ahead and start coloring this. Now I'm going to be doing, I'm just trying out all kinds of new stuff today. I'm going to be adding this to my base. This is white kaolin clay. And a lot of soapers use this and they love it. I have never tried it, so I'm going to see how it goes. It's supposed to make the soap more creamy and just generally just a little bit nicer than just a plain soap. And since I have so little batter here to fill up these cupcakes, I'm not going to be using very much. And also because it will lighten up the soap a little bit, as far as I can tell. When you use this, it'll turn your soap white. And I'm not looking for a super duper light soap. Since I have so very little of this mermaid blue mica, I think I'm just going to dump the whole thing in, because there's not very much left and there's not enough for me to do multiple projects with this. But I definitely need to order more because it's such a nice color. I definitely like my little mica jars better than these little baggies. Okay, so I'm actually going to stir this by hand because, like I said, I want to try to keep this batter as fluid as I possibly can to avoid any plops or anything like that. I do not want these cupcake liners to collapse on me. Okay, I've got that all mixed up. Just want to show you, if I can, without pouring this all over the place. It came out a very, very nice bluish green. That kaolin clay, I don't know if I just didn't use enough to lighten up the batter or what, but it doesn't seem to have really changed the overall color of my batter at all. So I'm just going to move these a little bit so they're more in view for you. Oh, there's something in the bottom of this. Ooh, mica. That's what that is. Okay. I don't mind if that's in there. Okay. So, let's get to pouring. all of these are filled up, they look pretty even to me. There might be some that are a tad shorter than the others, but I am going to go clean up this container and just get some other things together so that I can start mixing up the 3 colors for my frosting. And what's going to have to happen is I'm going to let the soap sit for the frosting. I'm going to be using the same soap, so my base soap that I made, to make the frosting with as well. Some people use a separate recipe. Others just use the same soap that they used for their base, and they just let it sit and thicken so that it's at a good pipeable consistency. And I think that that's what I'm going to do, just because it seems, well, I mean, it sounds like a lot less work to me. And it just makes more sense for me, at least, to use the same recipe for everything than it is to use 2 different recipes for what is essentially just one soap. So I will be back. Alrighty, I've got my containers all scraped out and cleaned out, and everything's set up, I believe, that I need. I may end up needing to stop again to rearrange things or whatever. I hope not, but like I said, never done this before, so I don't know what I'm going to end up needing. So I'm going to go ahead and mix my colors up. I did go ahead and add some kaolin clay to my base over here because I figured, why not? Why have it just in the base of the cupcake? You know what I mean? Let's make the whole thing real nice. So I'm running out of space here. I'm going to try to equally distribute this batter between these 2 containers and also this one for my colors. So, and it doesn't really matter if they're uneven because they're going into frosting, and I don't really care if I end up with more than one color than another. I think that'll give it kind of a cool effect. I don't know. We'll see. Sorry if you all can hear my little dog whining. She knows she's not supposed to be in here when I sew. And she's sitting outside the door in a little heap, looking quite sorry for herself. But that's okay. No doggies allowed in here during soap time. So, can you all see this right here? I hope you can. I hope you can see what I'm doing. All right, let's get started. I think I'm going to start off with this purple first. And I think I'm going to add this one to my big container over here. And then let's add some green. That green is just so pretty. I love it. Some green there. Apologize for the terrible view. I know that it's bad. I'm working on or thinking about getting a different setup. But for now, this is what I got, so that's what we got to go with. Okay. Now that I've got all of my colors dispersed, I am going to stick blend the color in because I want to make sure that there's no little pieces of mica that aren't incorporated or anything like that. pink turned out so pretty. That looks just like, I don't know, strawberry cake batter or something. I'm not a big fan of pink. I know that my sweater has pink on it, but it's not completely pink, and that's why I'm okay with it. I'm not a big fan of pink, but this is a very nice shade of rosy pink. Beans, what do you have? Oh my goodness, I don't know what she's doing out there. So, as you can see, this batter is thickening, but that is not nearly thick enough to pipe. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this soap sit. I'll come and check on it maybe every 5 or 10 minutes or so and see where it is. And then hopefully we'll get a good pipeable consistency soon. But sometimes it can take a really long time for soap batter to thicken up. The green is considerably more fluid than the pink. And the purple is very liquid as well. So I'm going to take a few minutes to let this soap sit and thicken and do its thing. And then I will be back when it is time to pipe these bad boys. Alright, I am back to pipe. The pink and the purple set up really nicely. The green is still kind of fluid, relatively speaking. I've got all of my piping in this bag. I accidentally put too much pink down in the bottom, but I think once I get to these other colors, it'll be nice. I'm using a Wilton 1M tip for anybody that wants to know. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I have never piped anything. I haven't even piped regular icing before. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm hoping that this doesn't turn out to be a disaster. I don't think it will. I'm just going to push a little bit out of the end here just to get it kind of started. I think that the soap, the base of these cupcakes, I feel like will hold the weight of this icing or frosting, the soap frosting. So I'm just going to put 1 dollop in the middle of each of these to kind of give the rest of the piping something to anchor to, and also to kind of get rid of some of that pink. And it definitely looks like the bottom layer of the soap is going to hold the rest of this. Ooh, this is looking very nice. I think this is going to go much better than I expected. I may end up making these really tall because I have quite a bit of frosting. So let's get started. Let's make 1 loop around the edge. And again, this is kind of to start getting rid of some of that pink. Just because there's so much at the bottom. Okay, I'm starting to see some of the purple come through. I don't know how well you all can see. Well, my measurements could use a little bit of tweaking as far as where I actually put the frosting, but I'm very much excited. Let me try to pipe a little bit more, just because I have so much of this frosting. This isn't all of the frosting that I have. I still have quite a bit more that I can put into these bags. know my piping isn't the prettiest, but again, this is the first time I'm ever doing this, so I'm kind of proud of myself right now, y'all. Pretty proud of myself. Let me put another dollop in the middle here. Okay, I'm going to refill my bag. Okay, on the refill, this is what it looks like. It's getting a little bit muddy, but we'll see how it goes. If you can see, this one's kind of melting a little bit, so I probably didn't wait long enough, but I'm too far in to stop now. If that one doesn't end up looking very pretty, I'll just have to keep it for myself. I have a feeling that I'm going to have a lot of this frosting left over because I don't want to make them too tall. I don't want them to fall flat on their faces. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. Yeah, my piping isn't super even, but I think they're turning out really pretty. I'm pretty happy with how those turned out. And they're pretty even, so I think I'm gonna stop there. Ooh, I know what I'll do. Okay, so I've got all of my batter taken care of. I've scraped out the remainder of my containers and put them in this silicone liner back here. And I piped the rest of the piping out onto it. And I'm just going to use that for myself or maybe as sample bars. It's not the prettiest soap ever because there towards the end it started to get a little bit muddy. But that's okay. At least for personal use. I don't really care. It's soap. But I decided for the top, I think I'm going to do this Bali Bliss glitter since it's blue and I don't really want to put any of the colors that I have on top as glitter. I feel like it'll be too much. And maybe a little bit of the hollow glitter. So I'm going to, and I don't know how this is going to work out, but I think I'm just going to get my fingers in here and pinch a little bit out and kind of sprinkle it on top because I don't really want to I don't really want to empty this tiny bag of glitter into a big shaker because I'm limited on those. So I'm just going to lightly sprinkle, not too much because I don't want to cover up those colors that I have on top because I think they turned out really nicely. Just a little sprinkling. Just the faintest hint of glitter. I'm going to have glitter on me for days. But this glitter is so pretty, I think that I'm okay with it. I guess I better be okay with it because I'm stuck with it now. And I'll bring you all in for a close-up, like always. Once I have all this glitter on here and I'm happy with it, and I think I'm getting close to that point. Again, I don't want too much. Don't want to take away from those frosting colors. And while my piping technique can definitely use some work, I'm pretty happy with how these turned out as a first attempt. Ooh, y'all, I'm going to have fun cleaning all this glitter up. I should have thought that out a little bit better. Now, I'm going to go in with this hollow glitter, where my Holosexual's at, and just sprinkle just a tiny bit of it. Again, not too much. If I can avoid it anyway. Accidentally dumped a bunch on that little one there. Okay, now let's put some in this big mold here too, because why not? Let's go in with some of this blue too. I generally don't use glitter all that much with my projects as far as soap is concerned, just because not everybody likes the glitter, and that's fine. It's completely a personal preference. And also, I'm not the best at glitter placement. I tend to get it all in one spot, even with shakers. That's neither here nor there. All right, let's bring you all in for a close-up. So these are the soap cupcakes that I just made. Try to get close without actually touching. They're very pretty. I'm really happy with how these turned out, even if they are a little bit Halloween-y looking almost. I'm hoping that once I take them out of these liners that they'll look a little bit more mermaidy or something. I don't know. So there we have it. These are the soap cupcakes that I just made. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss any of my uploads. If you want to purchase these or any of my other soaps, they will be available in my Etsy shop. These will not be ready for my December 1st release, but there will be 4 other soaps listed, as well as some other things that I have been working on. So make sure you head over, check things out, see if you like anything. Let me know what you thought of this down in the comments below. And just for the heck of it, here is that soap log that I made. It's not the prettiest. So let's go back to these. But that is all that I have for you all tonight. Let me know what you think, and I will be back tomorrow to unmold these.